Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for the full moon in Aquarius, happening this August 1st of 2023. Let's get off to a great start to the month. We got a full moon, and we also have some other interesting aspects today. So let's hop right into it. Hope that you guys had a lovely weekend, a lovely Monday, and yeah, guys, we have a pretty intense day ahead of us. Some powerful energies definitely meeting up for this full moon in Aquarius. So let's talk about it. Well, that full moon in Aquarius will be happening today. I want to say it's going to be around 9 degrees of Aquarius too. So this is definitely going to be an energy that's wanting to free us in many ways. This is definitely wanting us to kind of seek out, our unique individuality and, express our unique individuality. I think there's an element here where a lot of people are probably feeling bogged down and not free. And we've been dealing with issues of freedom over the last 3 years, right? So now that we got to this full moon in Aquarius, now that we got a taste of Pluto coming into Aquarius and then going back into Capricorn, this is like the first full moon in Aquarius after that whole transition, after that whole, moving into Aquarius and then the time skip. And now we're in this new world that's kind of like a hybrid of the old world and the new world. It's like that first full moon in Aquarius. It's going to be a defining moment. Yesterday, one of the cards that I drew was the Three of Swords, and it showed like these different agents in the background, agents of the Matrix, if you will. This is going to be one of those full moons where it's like, shoot, like, are you going to actually become the agent itself, or are you going to be like Neo and break out of this shit? You know what I'm saying? And that can be, that can kind of present itself in many different ways. Some of you guys may be breaking out of certain situations, different thought paradigms. Maybe you start to think differently about your situation. Maybe you start to see things in a new light. Maybe this has to do something with relationships. It could have something to do with career. It could have something to do with health. A lot of these things are going to come up. Maybe you start to value yourself differently. Maybe you look at something that you've been doing for a while and you start to see it as like, okay, like, where is the true value in this? And does this give me a sense of freedom? Does this give me a sense of, does this align with my heart? Does this align with my creativity, my passion? Does this light me up when I talk about this thing? Does it light me up? Does it almost make me feel like a child? Like when a child is like super excited about something and they show their parents and you just like, they're like this amazing ball of joy that nothing could kill their excitement. Is it like that kind of energy? We have to ask ourselves, I mean, shoot, adulting happens, life happens, you have bills to pay, you got things to do and stuff. You have your own kids and stuff like that too, right? I don't have any kids yet, but these sort of things happen. Life can seemingly take over, but we have to make sure that we carve out those times to still go to those spaces and to still express our creativity, our love for ourselves, our self-love, passion. Self-love in a sense where it's not like a, sort of chaotic or toxic sort of self-love, where it is, and I hate using this word, but it's more narcissistic in nature, because when you're narcissistic, you tend to put down the people around you. But true self-love is something where it actually elevates everyone around you. Simply you being you and radiating that love actually elevates the collective around you instead of puts them down. That's the difference between like true self-love and what narcissists do. Narcissists actually bring down other people. Generally, that's how they actually perceive themselves as better, is by bringing other people down around them. Whereas someone who is practicing like true, authentic self-love is someone that naturally brings everyone up around them. Now, the thing about this is that generally when you are on a path of self-love and when you are opening yourself up to those higher vibrations, it is going to seem like people start to rebel against you and your path. They start to to question your motives. They start to question why you would do these certain things because you are breaking out of the mold. And that's the other thing about Aquarius too. While it does rule the individual, it also in many ways rules collectives too. That's the thing about it. It's simultaneously a bunch of gray blobs, and it's also the red balloon or the red apple in a gray and black and white picture. That's the thing about this. It is this sort of splinter, if you will, in the matrix, and it's the matrix at the same time. That's the weird thing about this. So we have to really be, aware at this point, really, to see like how we maybe sort of, we have to realize that, we are part of a collective and that we all do affect each other, and our vibration does affect the vibrations of other people around us. And as I said, the thing about Aquarius, it's that double line, it's that double sine wave. It's one of the most esoteric symbols in the zodiac. It really is. It's two sine waves literally on top of each other. As above, so below. So we have to that's the thing about this. We think it's super crazy down here. It's just as crazy up there and just as crazy down there. Like it's the same thing. As above, so below. As below, so above. It's the same freaking thing. That's why this is a really important time. This is going to be a really important full moon that will do one of two things. It's either going to make you more jaded with humanity, or it's going to make you want to really work for humanity and to really do this actual spiritual work for humanity. I don't know about you guys, but humans have created some of the most amazing, beautiful things on this planet. I mean, yes, nature obviously itself is beautiful, the natural wonders of the world, but seeing the creative spirit of humanity on display here, and to see what humanity has been able to create and build is amazing. It's nothing short of a miracle too. And we are super freaking powerful beings, but we have outsourced that power to these other entities that kind of hurt us and rob us of our power. They kind of hoard us all together, and then they extract that power from us. This is definitely going to be this moment here where it's like, you are not a gray blob. And I'm thinking of Fairly Odd Parents in that episode where Timmy Turner wishes that everyone was the same and everyone turned into gray blobs. And you see that his dentist and the dentist's son, they were narcissists, right? They were the grayest and the blobbiest, even though they looked just like everyone else. They had to put everyone else down around them in order to make themselves feel better, even though they look the same as everyone else. But you can even see that within that world, everyone still had their own uniqueness, and that's what we have to really embrace and bring out here, right? So this full moon in Aquarius definitely want to give us a great opportunity to kind of peer in and see, where can we be more free? Where can we express that freedom more and that creative passion to really be authentically ourselves and to really make a difference too? That's the thing about Aquarius, is that it's Uranian ruled. Where's Uranus right now? Uranus is in Taurus. That's the dispositing energy. Oh yeah, this is going to come down to if you really truly value yourself, then you can really be very, you can bring this genius-like quality to it, and you can really invent and create something that can really impact the world and change the world. I think a lot of times people there's so many creative individuals out there that are geniuses in their own right. And there's a fear of expressing that because they wonder how they're going to be accepted. They wonder how, they're going to be successful. They're wondering if they're going to make money off of it. If it's something it was a hobby that they want to turn into a career, they wonder if they're going to make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? They're worried what their family might think. Maybe it's something counter to what they grew up with in their childhood. But this is really about, this thing. History remembers the legends. It remembers the unique people. It remembers the people that went against the grain. It remembers the people, the individuals that did something counter to the dominant narrative of the day. And while they may have been shunned during that time, they end up in our history books. they end up in our Smithsonian's. They end up influencing our current media, the legends of yesteryear, right? But when you're in that moment and you're in that time, it doesn't necessarily feel that way because, there can be a level of ostracization with Aquarius energy as well. Remember, this is Uranus rule. It's far out there. You gotta think that Uranus too. Just think about it from like a physical aspect, at least as far as what we're being told and stuff like that. I don't necessarily believe everything that we're told, but Uranus spins on its side, and it does have rings, but it spins on its side. It's the only planet that spins on its side. That's already weird enough. Now, my belief is that Uranus is actually like a portal. Actually, I think it's more like a reflective portal. It's like, anyways, I have my theories on Uranus. I think it's like a redirecting kind of portal. It's like the sun will shine its light on Uranus, and then Uranus will take that energy and shoot it out to somewhere else in the universe, or somewhere else into the galaxy. I think it's like a sort of like redirection portal, if you will. That's my belief, anyways. But Uranus spins on its side. So it's already doing something very different. You got the north, you got like one side of the planet that gets sun like half of the year, and you got the other side that gets the sun the other half of the year. It's different than from all the other planets. So we got to think about that too. It's like, and I think we go through periods where we may be on one side or the other. And, Aquarius kind of does this too. They go through periods where they're more out in the public, they're more expressive, they're more showing of themselves. And other times where Aquarius, they're more, at home, they're more hermit-like. They're gathering their energy, if you will. And that's because Aquarius has to go back and like draw all the lines and all the connections to see how everything works. And then when they come to some sort of conclusion or something, then they bring that to the public and share it. And some people might think that they're crazy for doing that, right? Some people will say, that's way out there. But some people will accept it. And I think that's the thing too. It's like we have to realize that, first of all, there's a shit ton of people here. There's like 8 billion people here, right? There's going to be someone out there that resonates with your message. Someone. And that's important. And the thing is that you don't know what kind of impact your impact on them will be. You don't know what kind of impact, you simply showing up and expressing and being yourself will have on their life. That person may go on to inspire. You may inspire the person that may go on to inspire hundreds of millions. Every legend has someone, has a coach, has a mentor, has someone that inspired them. We remember, of course, what they did because they're like the super athlete. They're the one that created like the multi-million-dollar business. They're the ones that did the big thing. But if you talk to these individuals, there's always that one person that really changed the game for them. And that person could have just simply been a teacher. That person could have simply been, it could have been like their dad that probably just, maybe they worked like a seemingly mundane, basic job, but freaking poured their blood, sweat, and tears into that job to make sure that his kids had a better life. And then that kid didn't take it for granted. They took it and ran with it and made something of themselves. And remember that, but the legend remembers the coach. That's the thing about this. So never like put down your impact that you can have, because you have no idea of who you may inspire and who you may motivate. And I think this is going to be a very important full moon to know that. Now, the other thing about this today, of course, we do have Mars in Virgo, which is going to be trining over to Jupiter in Taurus, which is nice. Like I said, we did have a nice little grand Earth trine earlier this weekend, but this past weekend. But now we do have Mars and Jupiter meeting up 13 degrees in their trine, and this is going to be a nice energy too, right? Mars, though, of course, is definitely wanting to make sure that everything's kind of perfect before moving forward. Definitely trying to organize things right now. This is the definite moment where we can be maybe a little bit more critical on our actions and how we're moving things forward, right? And then Jupiter and Taurus is sitting here like, yo, just chill out, smell the roses, have this corn on the cob, and just chill out. It's not it's not that serious. I think Mars and Virgo, of course, is so it's like, yo, but I gotta do this thing, I gotta do this thing, I gotta do this thing. Especially now that Mercury is here too. There's definitely this element where Mars is definitely wanting to like, get these things done, wanting to figure things out, kind of wants almost like a perfect plan before moving forward. And then Jupiter and Taurus is like, yo, do you value it? Do you value it? Is it something that you really want to grow and expand? Do you know what the consequences of growing this is going to be? That's what this comes down to. I think it's like, we can definitely get really caught up in being overcritical of our actions, being overcritical of the actions of others too. But we have to ask ourselves, is it truly valuable to us? You know what I mean? Not only that, but being that this is a 13-degree trine, you have 1, which represents the sun, 3, which represents Jupiter, comes to a, oh, hey, Onyx, I didn't even see you in here. You are literally a ninja. You're quite literally a ninja. Say hi. Anyways, I swear I didn't notice her. These cats are ninjas, I swear. But yeah, so 1 being the sun, 3 being Jupiter, next to a 4, which is Uranus, right? And then we, of course, have that full moon, right? So this is definitely going to be this is another moment where it's like, you know what? The action that you take, does it come from a place of freedom? Yes. I engaged her and now she wants to, be in the video and stuff. So this is also about, finding out where we belong. Do we actually vibe here? That's the thing about this. There's going to be an element where it's like, maybe you feel like you've been working really hard at something. I think the other thing about Mars and Virgo is also about your routine and stuff like that. What kind of routine do you have? What kind of energy does that routine produce? Is it something that is valuable? Is it something that brings you up, if you will? Is it something that increases your vibration, right? Is it something that benefits the people around you? Is it coming from a place of self-love, right? I think that's the major thing about this. The other part of today is that we do have Mercury, which starts the day at 4 degrees, but it will move to 5 degrees, which means that it will come into an opposition with Saturn. This is going to be a reality check, because Saturn is kind of like on vacation. She is retrograde in the sign of Pisces. Of course, Neptune is there as well, which is kind of interesting too. It's like Neptune is sort of like, the actual person that runs the resort, but you almost never see them, and now they're actually are there. And then Saturn's like, oh crap, I just, it's almost like Neptune's like, hey Saturn, can you help me with this and this? I know you're really good at managing different things. What about that? I know you're really good at like making decisions and stuff like that. Saturn's like, yeah, I'm on vacation, yo. But Neptune's like, yo, I need you, right? And now it's like, now you have Mercury coming into the opposition with this energy too, right? So Mercury's at home, if, it's feeling good and stuff, right? And now it comes into the opposition with Saturn, where it's like, we can definitely make our dreams come true, but it's like, we do have to realize that it's going to take some work and take some effort. You know what I mean? It's not something that's going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? Like writing a book has a process, right? I have published 8 poetry books called Therapeutic Poetry, and it was a process, writing the poems first, and then of course the editing, the formatting of the book, which is my least favorite part of it. And I think that's the other part too, is that like, this is a good full moon to realize, like, if you have like a project or something like that, find out what you can outsource, realistically. Find out what you can outsource. Find out what, teamwork makes the dream work. You know what I mean? So I think that's another important thing here, is that like sometimes we get caught up that we need to do everything by ourselves. We got to do everything on our own because, no one's going to do it like us. And that's true to an extent. But there's an element of trust here. There's an element of having to let go and to allow other people to come in and help you out when you need help. That would actually end up freeing you up to do what you really love to do, which maybe make the videos, someone edit it, or Maybe you work on. I'm trying to think of another example, but I can't really think of one. Do you have an example, Onyx? No, no. Okay, but I think this is going to be certainly a reality check. Now, like I said, I think this is going to be a beautiful full moon. It's going to allow, obviously, full moons are usually about releasing something, if you will. The time after the full moon is sort of like the results, sort of like the decompression after the release, if you will, the results of the release. And then, of course, you get to the new moon, which is like the new seed, right? So, during this decompression that we get after this full moon, it is going to conjunct Chiron and the North Node. It's also going to go over Saturn. It's going to go over Neptune as well. So, this is definitely going to be a time where, I think a lot will be revealed. I think it's interesting how we get this full moon in Aquarius after we had the whole, alien disclosure. We've been getting alien disclosures for like the last year. And it seems like this last one, I've never seen such a lack of care by the populace about alien disclosure than this last one. Even people like me who don't believe in aliens, know that aliens are here. I'm like, yo, and are you gonna pay my bills? You gonna are you gonna help me out with this? What does that actually do for me? What does it actually do for me? What does it actually accomplish? You know what I'm saying? So, here we go. And what's up, Onyx? What you doing? What's going on, girly? What is going on? But yeah, like I said, this is definitely going to be a powerful full moon to hopefully, release any inhibitions that you have when it comes to wanting to express yourself, wanting to actually be free. And here's the thing about freedom. Freedom isn't free, and it doesn't come easy. Freedom requires sacrifice. That's the thing about it. You think the forefathers just was like, okay, yeah, we're free now. You think the British were going to take that lightly? They think the king was going to take that lightly? It's like, you can't just claim to be free and not expect to fight me for this. That's the thing about this. So you have to be willing to fight. You have to be willing to fight for what you believe in. You have to be willing to fight for what is true. You have to be willing to fight for your freedom. You have to be willing to be bold and brave and to move into that world. But also you have to be willing to be free and you have to be willing to be that splinter in the matrix and go against the dominant narratives of the day. That's the thing about it. You have to be willing to go against those dominant narratives, and you have to be willing to potentially be ostracized because of that. Oh, you're not a gray blob. You're a pink blob. You're a blue blob. You're a green blob. Nah, we can't have you over here, fam. We don't do that over here. But look, I'm just a different color than y'all. And there's nothing really else different in me. I'm just a different color, but I'm chill. I breathe this and that to the table. Nah, fam, we only do gray blobs over here. And that can be lonely because, we as humans, we are naturally very social creatures. We need each other. That's the other part about this too, is there's this, the dominant narrative of the last 3 years is that we don't need each other. We don't need each other. It's one of the biggest lies told. We absolutely do need each other. We absolutely do need each other. The actor can't do anything. The actor needs the audience just as much as the audience needs the actor. Right? It's like we do need each other. Now, to find those true answers, we do have to go within. We have to meditate. We have to, focus on our craft. Have solitude, but then the opposite is true. We can't just stay in solitude forever. We got to go out and express and be with the people. And that's really important too. So don't fall for this whole thing where it's like you don't need people and that people suck. Yeah, some people do suck. Okay? Some people do suck and some ideas suck. We have to get back to actually shaming bad and shitty ideas. That's the other part about this too, right? You're free to have those ideas, but we're also free to criticize those ideas if they are shit and if they suck. That's the other part about this. But people are afraid to feel that aspect too. I honestly think a healthy dose of shame needs to come back into this world, personally. So, but because we don't really do that anymore. But that's what true love is. It's holding each other accountable. We're not holding each other accountable. And because of that, people continue to do shitty things and continue to have bad ideas and continue to influence people with those bad ideas. And things keep getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And then people are losing their faith in humanity. But humanity has come through so much, and will continue to. But we just can't lose our faith in humanity. And I don't know about you guys, but humanity has created some pretty freaking awesome things. Music, art, food, freaking buildings, construction, all kinds of different things. Why would we not want to embrace the unique spark of the divine, the unique, we are an experiment, but the unique, like, just, design, I guess, if you will, that is the human species. So don't lose faith in humanity. I know things look very crazy right now and intense, and there can be this sort of, almost desire to detract from it a little bit, but don't fall for that lie. We do need each other. We do need each other. And once we can, realize and come more into a sense of self-love, and we begin to radiate that love and begin to uplift the people around us, it just creates this feedback loop of positivity. It creates this feedback loop of that increasing vibration. Like I said, maybe I'm naive, but I really do believe that we can achieve a state where humanity is ascended. Just like these other beings and stuff like that. With these other beings, other alien beings like the Pleiadians and stuff like that, they're just advanced humans. They're just advanced humans from the future. Coming back to remind us of who we really are. Coming back to remind us of what we're capable of. Coming back to remind us of our universal birthright. But we have to be willing to take that step. We have to be willing to move into that direction. Even though at first it will feel ostracizing. At first it will feel lonely. But you will find your tribe. And then you will make a difference in this beautiful world. Let's get into the cards for today. Wow. I have the card of the Empress. What a beautiful card here. Yes, this is definitely an energy where I'm also hearing connect to nature. Actually go out and look at the full moon tonight. It'll probably apex around like 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe, is when it apexes. But of course, come the night, it will be pretty much full. We got the card of the Empress, which is a Venus ruled card. This is wanting us to get back into our hearts. There's this other video that I need to make about Venus in Leo, and when it comes to like parenting and children, that I really need to make. I'll probably will be making that sometime. I might even make it tonight, honestly. After I get off of work, go to the gym, etc. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's definitely this element where it's like, we're wanting to come more into our hearts right now. We really are. You gotta think, no one alive has experienced only Venus retrograde in Leo. So this is like actually in many ways like the first time that we're going through this review period and like learning to receive what is really in our hearts, learning to receive that golden light that shines from within. This is the first time that we're getting it just like that. Anyone that's alive right now. So last time this happened was over 200 years ago. So this is another reason why it's like, like, don't lose your faith in humanity. Don't lose your faith, because we all are going through this. You know what I'm saying? We all are trying to figure this shit out. But there's a great and beautiful opportunity here to really, come into that deeper sense of self-love and to really truly value ourselves and to just give it our all. You're alive. You're here. You're breathing. Take a deep breath with me, beloved. Like, you are here. You are alive. You are well. You have potential. You know what I'm saying? You can do this. You absolutely can do this. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for your full moon in Aquarius video. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I'm sure Onyx enjoyed it and stuff like that. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all take care, stay blessed, and peace out. Have a great full moon in Aquarius day.